Shh, today is such a super secret for the best markets to invest in. I'm investing in a place and in a zone that most people don't even really know is a great market to invest in. I can't wait to share it with you. All right, back with the best markets to invest in, and today I'm gonna take you to a little old place in North Carolina called Charlotte. Now, Charlotte is a really great market to be investing and buying real estate in for some very specific reasons. Let's start again at that macro level. If you've been enjoying this series and learning about where I'm investing in, why I'm investing there, and the returns that I'm getting, this market is different than those other ones. There's some things that I like about it. How many of you like the idea of making a lot of money on new construction that is still being built at a price point that leaves you with equity and a monster cash flow? That's what we're finding right now in Charlotte. So I'm doing something a little different in this market. It is our niche market. We're transacting a lot of real estate every single month there. And let's just talk a little bit about Charlotte. First of all, Charlotte Direct has an 842,000 person population. So it is right now the largest city in North Carolina, but it is the third fastest major city in all of the United States. So Charlotte Direct has 842,000 person population. That makes it the largest city in the state. But more importantly that, it is the third fastest growing population in America. Now, if you've been watching some of the other videos on the best markets to invest in, you're gonna realize that there's a pattern here. I like being in markets where the cost of living is down. I like being in markets where the population has a lot of upward growth trend, but I really like being in the markets where there's a lot of population growth. And one of the reasons why I love that population growth is because more people equal more houses. More houses equal building them at the cost of rebuild, and the cost of rebuild is based on a commodities market. And so lumber is more expensive today than it was then because commodities will always increase and be on the rise. And so this is a pattern that I like to find myself in. But in addition to that, North Carolina is also a special place because it's like the second largest business banking center for the entire United States. You got headquarters for Bank of America there, you got headquarters for Wells Fargo there. That makes this a really attractive place for us to be because we've got great population growth, it's a fast growing area. And what am I doing out here in North Carolina? Well, in this specific market, I'm capitalizing on the rebuild market and on brand new homes. So we're specifically buying homes that we're buying below the median. They're between $180,000 and $220,000, so right at and below that median. But because they're new build, we're able to get away with these incredible growth markets. We're doing 15 to 20% on our growth on brand new homes, which by the way, on a new build making that kind of growth, that's really exciting. Think for just a moment about what happens when you drive a car off the car lot, the value goes down. Well, very similarly in the real estate market, when you buy a new home, the value doesn't go down, but I'll tell you that when you're buying it brand new, you're buying it at a premium, meaning you're not getting it at a discount because it costs something to build. This market has something very special happening where we're actually buying it in these phases with a good equity stance, but we're also buying these homes with an even greater cash flow. Why? Because it's a very strong powerhouse rental market. All these factors, they come together and they ultimately help us determine what makes the most sense. So once in a while I'll meet investors that'll be like, oh, Kris, if I buy a home, how does age factor into a home? And in this video, let me just talk about that for just a moment. Because I'll tell you, I once bought a home that was built in 1907. And that house had repairs like you probably can't imagine. It was one of the first homes that I bought. I got it at a ridiculous deal. I actually sold it and made a tremendous profit years later on it. But the upkeep on that home while I owned it was not really fun. It was $10,000 here, it was $2,000 here. I mean, they had all old electrical, this is in voltage, that, and the plumbing was old and it was shiplap versus drywall. This was an old home. So I think I probably made $60,000, $70,000 by the time I sold it several years later. But the maintenance on that home was horrific. If you were to ask me today, Kris, will you buy an old home like that again? Yes, but only at the right price. You see, a property like that, I need to have a way better equity position on it, and I'm probably more interested in letting it go, flipping it, and selling it than I am doing any kind of long-term hold on it. Homes like that, if you have to put in $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000 on a remodel, that's not my jam. That's more than cosmetic. Slapping on paint, getting new carpet is one thing. Replacing everything down to the stud is a different thing. But on the other extreme, we've got new homes. And there are some people that are these, I don't know, I call them my real estate investor romantics. I want a new home and I want the granite countertop and I want it to be a home that, yeah, you would live in. Guess what? It's an investment. It's not for you. It's for some other human being. Do not ever buy a home that you would live in or a home that you would want as your dream home. It's like, oh my gosh, we could put in the solid surface, but if I put in granite, I know it's double the money, but it looks so pretty. Pretty is not going to get you more money out of that property. All it will do is increase the perceived value, which will mean that you can sell it faster, but you're not going to recuperate money out of a lot of those things. If you got a toilet made out of porcelain and a toilet made out of gold, gold does not increase the value of the home. If you put copper gutters up, it does not increase the value of the home because the home needs to have a functional toilet. And a toilet that cost $50,000 because of gold plated or just porcelain that came out of Home Depot for $79 will not impact the value of the home. So don't ever put a gold toilet in a property. So a new property, a lot of people get excited about that. Personally, if a home has been built, if you take a look at 1970, 1980, when they started updating their electrical systems, their plumbing systems, that's a big deal for me. So once I start getting to a home that was built in the 90s and the 2000s, hey, I'm not anticipating a lot of problems on that house because we worked through a lot of our modern day problems about 40, 50 years ago. So anytime I'm buying older than that, it does become a consideration. Am I going to ask for a better deal? Yes, I am. Why? Because I'm going to have more costs. I'm going to have a few more headaches or my property manager will. And so it all gets taken into account. Kris, would you buy a home from the 1600s? I would for $1, wouldn't you? Plus, it's probably historical. You probably make it a museum and who knows, right? All right, so what I'm really trying to tell you here is that I like North Carolina because they're new homes and it's new construction. And that just means, again, low maintenance, but it's not that big of a draw or difference than a home from 1990 because they're both maintenance-wise going to perform really well. However, getting a new construction project that still has these high ROIs and these high cash flow because of the equity play, the growth play, and because of the rental market, these are fantastic properties. This is my first time in my life, actually in the last 15 years of investing, I've ever bought new homes and had them perform like older homes. So that makes really this market very unique and very special. This is one of my personal hot markets that I like to be in. And thank you for joining me today. What a unique opportunity, right? Like getting amazing deals on brand new homes. If you want to learn more about that, click the link, talk to my team. We'll share with you how it all goes down. Otherwise, subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll see you tomorrow.